I don't know how much value I have in this universe, but I do know that I made a few people happier than they would have been without me. And as long as I know that, I'm as rich as I ever need to be.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
So I was going through your Instagram today, and I was going through your friends list, and it's this girl on there. I kind of just want you to unfollow her, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Cause she just make me uncomfortable. She always taking.
Boo. Say less. You don't even have to explain. Do me a favor, grab my phone right now.
What?
Go through my friends list. Unfollow every girl that you think makes you uncomfortable.
Kyle, are you serious? Cause you only gonna be following me at that
Boo,
point.
I don't care if you are the only person that I'm following. Take my phone and unfollow everybody.
Oh my God.
You know I love you, boo.
Oh,
Give me kisses. Mwah.
A lot of people know about Michel Foucault, right? This kinky French dude who studied power and sexuality and changed Western social theory forever. Now, despite all his incredible contributions, one of the things about his work that I've always struggled with is trying to understand what he thought we should do about the entanglement of truth, power, and subject. His most popular writings rarely allude to a solution. That is, until recently when I learned that in the years leading up to his death, Foucault started studying what he called the technologies of the self, and that in 1982 he presented a seminar that was essentially the beginning of a project he never finished, an inquiry into meditation and care of the self through the lens of ancient philosophies and religious asceticism. In the lecture, he says, "My objective for more than 25 years has been to sketch out a history of the different ways in our culture that humans develop knowledge about themselves. The main point is not to accept this knowledge at face value, but to analyze these so-called sciences as very specific truth games, related to specific techniques that human beings use to understand themselves." And the sad thing is, were it not for his untimely death, this could have been one of his most revealing projects of all.
Without the encouragement of your father, man, the world is a dismal place. It's very difficult to be a courageous person unless you have your father in body and spirit behind you. It's very demoralizing. Like, it really kills people not to have their mother. They just don't recover from that. And I think people can recover from a fragmented father relationship, but it's the next worst thing. You know, because if your father rejects you or doesn't form a relationship with you, it's as if the spirit of civilization has left you outside the walls as of little worth. It's very difficult for people to recover from that. So the father should be an encouraging force, but can be a tyrannical and crushing force. And so that's a very difficult thing to get right, partly because if you're my son, then I should impose the highest standards of behavior on you. And I should always be judging what you're doing.
When this man was arrested and eventually executed, he said thank you and smiled. The man in the photo here is Hamza Banadelli, and what this man did was truly amazing. He basically committed mass robbery and mass fraud, but for a good reason. Basically, he was an extremely qualified hacker and computer programmer, so could literally get into anything. Therefore, he extracted $4 billion from 217 different banks. Yep, 4 billion. Now you're probably thinking, Matt, what's good about that? He's stolen 4 billion. Well, the reason why he stole 4 billion, he donated every single penny out of the 4 billion to different causes around the world, such as poor and starving people in Africa, animal welfare, and everything you can imagine. However, eventually he was arrested and taken to a horrible jail in Thailand before tragically being executed. But when he was on his way to be executed, he smiled and actually said, thank you, because he helped so many people.
Stop scrolling for a second. I posted this video with no description and no hashtags, so that the algorithm wouldn't send it to anyone who it wasn't meant to go to. So if you're seeing me, that means you were meant to see this. And I'm here to tell you that you're awesome. You're beautiful. You're exactly who you're supposed to be. And you're exactly what God intended you to be. So go out there and own this world. Make every day the best day you possibly can. Stop being hard on yourself. Stop looking at the negative. Go after the positive and be the best you can be. Because you are exactly who you're supposed to be.
You know, children are a third of life, something like that, maybe more. And so I would certainly recommend that you don't miss it, work. And but it's always been complicated to raise children. They're a long-term investment, but little children pay you back immensely if you have a good relationship with them. You know, if you're on their side and encourage them, because they're an unconditional source of joy and love. You know, you're not a very happy camper, so to speak, if you're 45 and you have no one, and it doesn't go upwards after that. So don't miss it.
It's a bamboo flute playing only one note. That's the only note you can get out of that flute. But the pygmies, who are the inventors of this flute, are clever people. The pygmies have invented a fabulous musical technique or instrumental technique, which consists in having a conversation with their own instrument. You ask the flute to speak to you, and the flute says something like, and you reply to the flute by saying,
Feminism has literally, and its stated goal has been to destroy the family, take need for the father as a home, and to give women this false ego. At the same time, men have become emasculated. Men have become effeminate. Men are now mirroring women, opposed to the other way around, because they're disoriented. Everything's backwards. Man is woman, woman is man.
Well, the first thing I think you need to understand is that these people that you're comparing yourself to, you don't really know very well. What that means is that you see their shiny outside, but you don't see the reality of their life. You know, maybe you're in California, see someone speeding down the road in a convertible Porsche, and you think, oh man, what a lucky bastard. The truth of the matter is that he's thinking about wrapping his expensive sports car around the next cement pillar that he comes close to. You know, you can't tell, and people have hard lives. Even people who are comparatively fortunate have hard lives. And the ideal that you're observing that makes you jealous and resentful is in large part an illusion that's created by your own mind.
Here's what the scripture says. He that finds a wife finds a good thing. Didn't say he that finds a girl that he's attracted to, who he then begins to date, who he then calls his girlfriend, who he then buys a ring, proposes, and makes her his fiance, who he then marries later, who becomes his wife. You're not a wife when I marry you, you're a wife when I find you. You become my wife when I marry you. But a wife is not the presence of a ring, it's the presence of your character. Too many women want to be married, but you're walking in the spirit of girlfriend. Ask the Lord to deliver you from that spirit and carry yourself like you're already taken. And I promise you, when you carry yourself like a wife, a husband will find you. But if you keep walking like a girlfriend, boys will play with you.
Dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, Rap Attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop, smoking weed and bamboo, sipping on private stock. Way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match.
A person who values you would never put themselves in a position to lose you. Let's go! Hey!
Lassù in montagna Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 seppellire lassù in montagna